司っている神です。実はあなたの死は予定外だったのです。え？あの時あなたは女の子をかばいました。でも犯人は転んで周りの人に取り押さえられる予定でした。もしかして僕いらなかったってこと？ってことは無駄死に？そうです。僕あれだけ勇気を振り絞ったのに。しかも犯人はあなたが亡くなったせいで殺人罪になってしまいました。
I am in love with this anime. This anime was so good. The Aristocrats Otherworldly Adventure. I was really, like, for the first 5-ish minutes, I was really, like, hot and cold on the anime. But, like, by the end of it, and I watched the ED, I watched the OP, I watched the preview. By the end of it, I was absolutely in love with this anime. But that's not why you clicked. You clicked because should you watch the Aristocrats Otherworldly Adventure? And there is as much of a... how do you say it? There's as much of a reason to say no as there is yes. Let me cover that no part first, because I want to say that I understand my audience and I understand a good portion of the anime community. The reasons that I would give you, or that anybody would give you for no, you shouldn't watch it, is for the following. It's another isekai anime. It involves another OP character, a character who is not only powerful in this world, but more powerful than anybody else in this world because he was given certain blessings by the gods. It involves some rather... I don't want to say strenuous. It involves some imaginative plot lines that you kind of have to let go of your realism because the anime doesn't do a good job of explaining certain things. Those certain things are, and I'm on number 3 at this point, those certain things are him learning the language, where was the language barrier at, and him not being reincarnated as a baby, but instead being put into a 3-year-old's body, him not actually needing to die, and then him getting the blessings by not just one god, but every single god. So you have that, okay? There is a sister in this anime whose ability is that she is obsessed with our main character. And then number 5, we have the anime ending with that he's going to be the one to save the world at some point. So those are 5 reasons, and those might be 5 reasons to watch it, but those could be 5 reasons to not watch it because you're like, okay, well, this kind of sounds like every other anime. This sounds like the Hero Crest anime. This sounds like the these others, the Soul anime. This sounds like the Spirit anime. This sounds like this anime. And the answer to that question is, yeah, it does. But I think there are some very unique things on the opposite side to watch this anime. So let me stop there and just say, if you're a fan of isekai, you generally like these OP style, characters, and you want something that has a good deal of comedy in it and something you don't take too serious but you do get enjoyment out of. I think that's for reasons to watch it. And then to not watch is if like you're not really an isekai person and you really don't like those things. You're tired of the OP character, you're tired of the harems, you're tired of this, then I would say, yeah, don't watch it. Just let this one slide by. There's like 30 other anime you could be watching this season that go in a ton of different directions, from action, adventure, gruesomeness, horror, mystery, romance. So there's so many other options. So for those reasons, don't watch it, So I'm going to let you make that decision. But, for me, I would really say, like I started with the beginning, like I'm in love with this anime. I think this anime was incredible. I really think that one of the things that I hone in on all the time, especially if you're new on the channel, hey, what's up? I'm Dom. Make sure you guys hit like and, of course, subscribe. That'll definitely do me a huge favor. I'm trying to get to like 10K subs by the end of this year. Is it possible? Who knows? But I definitely need your help if you're watching this. One of the things that I always say is no matter what anybody's opinion is, it'll never sway my opinion. And my opinion is fast and hard. And it's that episode 1 is the most important episode of any anime. It's the first taste of food, right? It's like when you take that first bite of food that you've never tried before. that first bite is telling you if you like it or not. And it's very rare that you're going to take a first bite and it leaves a bad taste in your mouth and you're going to be like, let me go in for more. That's the same thing that happens with anime. It's very rare that you get an episode 1 that flops, or it's not entertaining, or it's not funny. You just don't like it. It's very rare, you kind of have to have a little crazy in your head, as I think most people in the anime community kind of do, to go in and be like, let me get some more of those peas that I hate, And maybe eventually, by your third or fourth scoop, you're like, I can tolerate this. Maybe by your fifth scoop, you're like, man, it's not bad, So that's kind of how anime typically works, is like we have this arbitrary three episode rule when we clearly didn't enjoy the first episode, but we're like, we'll give it 2 more. It's like, well, should you, though? Episode 1 really matters that much. So what this episode really did to me, or did for me, was it really established some really, really important things for me. So, I'm going to work my way backwards and up from the, I'm going to kind of, I think this episode was kind of everywhere, and it worked, though. I'm going to work my way from, kind of the bottom. So, the bottom of the episode, or the last half or last portion of the episode, he was getting baptized, right? We found out that you have to be 5 years old to get baptized, and when you get baptized, you get the blessings from the gods. They don't typically talk to you or meet with you. You just kind of get bestowed some kind of ability, some kind of blessing. Like for the god of commerce, you might get bestowed, I think he bestowed an item box and appraisal, right? So you might get that. But in this case, the gods actually came to him. They told him that he was reincarnated. They told him that the reason he was reincarnated as 3 is because they thought that it would be mortifying for him to have to, suck on the teats and to have to be milked and to not be able to speak. So they fast forwarded that and reincarnated him at 3 years old. So they immediately were able to answer a few questions I had earlier in the episode of I'm tired of characters always being reincarnated as somebody else that exists. They take over them. It's like, okay, what happened to that last person? So they kind of explained it here. But they knew that he was, Kazuya from the last world. They also told him, the god of reincarnation told him some really bad news. It gave me the Konosuba vibes. She literally said, hey, if you actually did nothing in that situation that you were in, you wouldn't have gotten killed at all. The dude was going to trip, and he was going to get subdued by cops. But instead, you ran into his knife, which I thought was hilarious. Bro literally ran into his knife. He basically said, stab me. And she was like, not only did you not have to die, but she was like, now that guy was going to get in trouble, but now he is going to jail for murder. For murder. He was like, oh no, I'd have to die. I was dying. I was dying just like he did. I was dying of laughter during that moment as well, too. We then found out that, I already covered it a little bit, but we found out that, he has a status box, and he used the God of Creation's ability to hide his status. So when he showed his family, we found out that he actually effed up. He didn't hide his status at all. He actually had all of his stats right then and there, and that was absolutely so hilarious. Rewind a little bit more. Before he got baptized, he looked at his sister's status, and her status said that one of her abilities, or one of her descriptions was, obsessed with Cain. So she has a big brother complex. So he's gonna have to deal with that for the rest of his life. So I thought that was incredibly funny. All the comedic things that they try to do this episode, it really hit for me. If we rewind a little bit more, we find out that he's kind of a ladies' man. He was able to talk up his nanny. I think that was really funny as well. We found out, another thing too, that the first king at some point in this world was actually a Japanese man. We find out that there's a ton of different races. Of course, there are dwarves, elves, etc. So all of those things exist here as well too. And then he is the third son of this noble family, and the dad more than once during the episode said he can't take over the family because he has 2 older sons, but he can basically do whatever he wants. So that's giving him an out to go be an adventurer. Last thing I'll say is the OP was really cute, but the ED was funny. I was dying at the ED because it keeps showing him, Cain, it keeps showing him, and then he gets chased by some girls, he gets hugged by some girls, and then it shows him with some old man king, and the king acts just like the girls, so he's getting chased by these old dudes. The ED is funny. So I think if I were to summarize it, I would say that This anime has done really good character building so far with Kane. It's really established him as a goofy character. He's really goofy, and he's kind of taking things in stride. He's really goofy, and there's going to be a lot of goofy things that happen to him. We have his sister, who's obsessed with him, which is going to probably lead him down some very unique path in the future. It did a good job of world building. As he was introduced to the world, he was kind of in solitude up until he was 5. Now he's going to get to explore the world, so we're going to get that world building around it. But there's a lot of pieces that we already know. It established his familial ties with, him, his status, and his family kind of being done. And then it gave us, like, a plot, which is just kind of slice of life-ish of just, like, it's an open book. He's going to go be an adventurer, and that could lead us down many different adventures. So I'm all in, but, at the end of the day, you guys need to just decide if I'm going to be watching this all season long. Let me know in the comments down below if you want to see weekly reviews of this. Obviously, I'm going to take engagement really seriously, so let me know if you guys want to see it. Just holler in the comments below. I appreciate you guys being here for the first episode. This episode was incredible, and I can't wait to see more. Even if I don't watch it weekly, I will be watching it on this side. All right, I'm going to see you guys next week, or I'm going to see you guys in the spring for more anime. All right, peace.